And it looks like we live. Go live on Bigo. 3, 2, 1. All right. I want something that covers my face. I like that one. Stars. Hello, welcome. If there's anybody real here and not just a bunch of bots. I'm gonna make a song today. I'm gonna make a new Witch House song. And try making some Witch House at least, something different that I haven't done before. Yesterday I used F sharp minor. Might use a different musical key. I have some, basically like a sample pack of different like chords and whatnot. Hello, Jetta and Jeff. Just starting a new live stream. Gonna try making like a Witch House song today. Right now I'm just trying to work out which key I want to use, and then also maybe like work out a chord progression. Here it is, MIDI. E minor. I don't think I've used that one much yet. Or G minor. I think I'll use G minor. I just like, experimenting with different musical keys. Maybe doing something different every day. But today, I'm going to do G minor. G, A, B flat. C, D, E flat, F. All right, I think what I'm also going to start doing. Hello, Archangel. It's a cool name. I've recently been getting a lot more into philosophy again, as well as like world religions. And so recently I've been learning more about it, like occultism and esotericism. So today I'm going to make a kind of a witchcraft song, witch house song, kind of a cult sounding witch house song. So I was going to start by maybe loading up a new sample pack onto my music sampler. Maybe something kind of more trap influenced, because that's kind of like witch housey. Yeah, Origin of Styx. Yeah, I can help you kind of explain to you. I followed you back too. I can explain to you kind of my process of how I go about making songs because right now I'm going to load some new samples onto my music sampler, but a lot of times I just start out picking which musical key I want, and then from there, a lot of times I make a chord progression. Half of being a sound engineer involves rapping and tripping over cables and trying to figure out which cables are plugged into which instrument. What key? G minor, just because I haven't used that a lot. Do you play any instruments? Like, do you have any kind of background, like piano, guitar, anything like that? Why is it not connected? There we. What? It just worked, and then it. Oh, probably maybe just a bad USB jack. Instruments in theory. Hop up in the box. What exactly do you mean hop up on the box? Like kind of like join a voice call? Because you could do that if you want, if you know how to. I did when I was in middle school. I took recorder, and then when I was in high school, then I took 2 semesters of choir, so I do have some of that background. I don't exactly know. Yeah, I guess if you, I don't know how that works. If you want to make a request or something and I accept it, then you could do that. All right, now it's connecting. Should be on the bottom of the screen. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, yeah.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for the accept. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Um, I just plugged this sampler in, so I'm gonna load like some samples, probably like something like trap or hip hop influence.
Awesome, awesome, man. How long did it take you to get everything all set and situated for you? How long was the process for you?
I started producing music probably back in 2014. I got my first DJ mixer in like 2013, and then the year after, I started making music digitally. And I pretty much made all my music digitally for about 10 years. Up until about 2 years ago, I started investing in more hardware and physical instruments, and it quickly basically just became an addiction. And since then, I've not really even used like a digital audio workstation. It's all just analog.
Holy cow! So you're past the DAWs. Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, I still use
That's
DAWs. It's
great.
just I like having options, being able to use both. And just right now, I prefer hardware.
Yeah, honestly, the main person, of course, that probably pops into my mind that you're very familiar with is Dead Mouse and his recording studio. He's got, gosh, man,
Oh
that thing's
yeah,
got everything.
yeah. I like also like Aphex Twin or Venetian snares. They have a lot of cool hardware too.
But what I was getting at is like, if you do ever speak to me about some things or whatever, I'm not master level or anything like that. However, I have knowledge of the circle of fifths. I have played instruments both in treble clef and bass clef, and definitely understand whenever it comes down to like a little bit of the building process as well. So um, you don't have to dumb it down super far with me, um, but yeah, so I'm here. I'm just happy to be here, man. See somebody doing it in real life. So
Yeah, I mean, I usually try and stream for about a couple of hours a day, so you can ask questions and stick around however long you want. I actually think it's cool, like if other people then see this in other streams.
yeah, I guarantee you're gonna have some DJs coming up here. A lot of people mix on this app, but uh, you don't see a whole lot of producers. There are some. There are some. They tend to stay very close knit together, but so that's cool. So hopefully you get to meet some of them.
I consider myself a producer first and then a DJ second. So the way that I look at it is, I produce the songs in the studio, and then if I get invited to like play at like a club or a rave or something, then I just take the songs that I wrote and like DJ them like for the event.
That's the true meaning of it. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, man. Music production is where it's at, man. I'm so that's so cool, man. For real. I've been looking into different. For me, I'm gonna have to still start on a DAW. For me, music theory is not a second nature thing. So like when I hear a C chord, could I tell you all the notes on a C chord? No, I can't. However, I do understand the process of finding those chords. So that's about where I'm at. I had the same kind of thing as you actually, the recorder karate or whatever, the stuff in
Yeah.
elementary school and middle school. Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun.
I don't have like I'm not pitch perfect, so I not yet at least. I think if I really wanted to like dedicate myself and train my ears, I could probably pick it up. But I'm not like the kind of person who can play an E and I can instantly tell you like what note it is.
Well, no, pitch perfect is crazy. Where you can tell, like, hear a car crash 100 feet away and be like, that was in the key of C sharp. And you're like, what? How did you do that? But now, like, for me, I think where I struggle with is hearing the C chord and then understanding that, okay, well, I'm just throwing out letters here. Maybe the A sharp and the B sharp and the C major makes the other B that. You know what I mean? That's where I struggle with.
Well, this is kind of the part of the song now where I'm loading the samples onto the sampler, but now that I have like a key, which is G minor, the chord pattern for G minor is minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major. So I basically just go through starting with G and just play each chord, which you just have to like skip every other. So the first chord would be G, B flat, D. The second two diminished would be A, C, E flat, and that kind of thing, and then just kind of find a progression that I think sounds nice. That's like a starting point.
Okay. All right.
That's the key. Thanks for the likes. So that's the third chord in that scale, which is a major chord. And then the fourth, which is minor. This is basically using the keyboard to control the synthesizer. Yeah.
I was like, here's the keys, but I'm like, what is he? Is it an accordion? Like, holy shit!
Well, what's really cool is like that you can change it. I'll give you an example.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to this guy, I'm probably gonna be a little bit like, holy fuck, that's so sick. Guys have been inspired to do this for a while, so if I'm that guy, I promise I'm not gonna be that guy next time. Watch this up.
Oh, there's DJ Swag joined. Oh shit. Oh, I thought the stream exited for a second. I got a random phone call and it said it was a spam risk, so I just hung up. I think for this one, I'll just do like a 4-chord progression. So a lot of times I'll just kind of mess around and figure out like maybe just what sounds nice. Like I might go from 1, 3.
What kind of a sound structure are you looking to go toward? Are you looking for like a poppy sound, or what kind of sound?
I was thinking Witch House today, which usually I do like techno, like 4 to the 4 music, but I just like to branch out to different genres, and I've never done Witch House, so I figured it's kind of like it's kind of similar to hip hop, but it's just usually more like the dark and occult sounding.
What's the excuse me, sorry for coughing, but what's the normal beats per minute and count on that? Is it only a 4/4 time or cut time? Or?
I think it's usually like I don't know, like when I looked it up, it just said 60 to 100 beats per minute, but I'll probably get to that later, and I'll show you. Like I'll just kind of mess around with the drum machine and whatever sounds nice, basically. I actually have 2 streams going too.
Oh shit, do you?
There's a YouTube stream over there.
Nice. If you want, whenever you get a second, you can DM me your YouTube if you want. I'll follow you on there as well.
Okay, I can just do that right now. Oh well, I guess I'll just message you after the stream because I want to exit out of that. But yeah, I will.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
Shit. I don't have a stand yet.
All good, man. No worries.
I'll do that one instead because it's a bit darker.
Nice.
So do you know about like chord progressions?
Yeah, a little bit. Just I know enough to understand it if you were to kind of talk about it, but if you want to tell me anything, by all means, lay some knowledge on me.
Yeah, I mean, at least for this one, I've decided for this song, I'm going to do the progression of 1, 3, 5, 4. And then once I have that written out, I usually just write down the notes and then program it into. Um, I usually use this 4 chords.
All right. So when you say, just to make sure I understand, when you say progression and you're choosing 1, 3, 5, 4, that means between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 potentially. I think that means those are the numbers of the notes in that sequence that you're choosing and the sequence of which they're going to appear.
I'll just write it out and I'll show you later.
Oh, I appreciate your willingness to show me this, man. I'm glad I'm not a bother or anything. Thank you.
I mean, it's better than most of the time I'm like just talking to bots basically.
I know how it is, bro. Yeah.
All right, so these are basically the notes that I'm going to be using from each chord or from the scale. So I basically then just like program that into this one here.
All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. Cooking up beats.
That's basically the chord pattern like playing.
So it's very similar. It's like that's literally a DAW, except an analog DAW, more or less. Like,
Well, actually, it's the other way around. The DAW is a digital replication of what was originally an analog thing.
fair enough. Okay, yeah. Damn, that's cool. All right.
I mean, if you think about it, like if you were in the '60s or the '70s and you wanted to record an album, you would need literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, like a mixer. You need all the instruments, you know, synthesizers, drum machines, or whatever. But a digital audio workstation is basically like an entire studio in like a single software.
Yeah, literally. That's how it makes an instrument.
I was trying to think of how to like clear it, because I was having this problem yesterday actually.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Is it working?
Yeah, it's cleared.
Okay, okay.
Once I have like the sampler, I basically can just
That's fucking sick.
I clear the samples. Maybe not.
Oh, the good old on and back off. Off and back on.
Some of these are loose. Yeah, I think I'll just start going through and basically like I'm gonna look for kind of like an 808 kick and just some like general trap drums. And maybe just start putting something together. So I was probably gonna do maybe around uh, like 60 or 70 beats per minute.
Okay.
Something like that. Huh, that's weird. Now I'm having a different problem.
What's that? What's going on?
I'm just gonna Google it really quickly. The starting the length of the sample isn't working for some reason, which I don't really know how to explain that. Basically, like, yeah, I'll just Google it and hope that I get it figured out.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll probably just try and figure it out for later. Because the thing is, with a lot of these instruments, it's like it's kind of muscle memory where you have to figure out like how to sometimes like the different controls or whatever, like menu diving.
Sure.
But I think I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make like a beat using this one instead. which is a Roland TR6S drum machine. So, like I said, I'm basically gonna look for try and make it like a deep kind of 808 kick sound.
That machine you're using right there looks very similar, more complex than one that I've seen Swedish House Mafia use in one of their music videos. Bro, I had 5K in here earlier. I was like, whoa.
A lot of this actually is kind of like menu diving, where I'm kind of like going through different settings and basically just making adjustments to the kick, for example.
Okay. Tailoring the sound.
Some people have lives and they forget about doing things about sending pictures. Don't take it personally. What I'm insinuating is that you shouldn't take everything that I say and do personally.
Bro, do you know how to kick people by any chance? I don't know if this I don't know any dynamic, but
I don't mind if people join my stream. It's just that this person sometimes he asks questions, and I'm totally fine with that. But then other times he comes off as like very, I don't know, anal retentive about things.
kind of saying, yeah. Hey. So sweet.
I'll probably just stick with 808.
It doesn't seem bad, honestly.
Yeah, this is a 80 closed hi-hat 808, and this is an open one. So I'll probably have some like alternation between those. I just kicked him out. I just didn't want to be distracted by reading negative comments when I'm trying to make a music.
I agree. Might as well nip it in the butt.
Alright, I kind of like that. I think I'm just going to add some like claps now.
It's coming together nice.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing it layered on the machine visually. You know what I mean? That's neat.
Yeah, well, it's cool too saying like this is the bass, the snare. I'm going to put a clap here, and then this is a closed hat and the open hat, so. Oh, that was meant to be the. Yeah, let's go. There we go. So that's the closed hat. That's the open hat. That's a snare. And the bass drum.
Nice.
That sounds kind of cool. Wasn't what I was going for. Maybe a room shot, actually.
Oh, okay.
might actually be cool for more like witch house sounding stuff. And I can kind of go cycle through some of the sounds on here and like change the sound of the chords if I want. Alright, I'm trying to think now. I think I'll move on to maybe this one would be nice for maybe like some other kind of pad sounds to layer in.
Okay. Moving to a different station.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I do is just like go from like this one actually has some presets in there, like you can cycle through some of the different presets so you have more of a starting point and then you can kind of mess with it. Whereas like for this one, for example, there's no preset built-in sounds and everything's just from scratch.
Okay. I guess there's a time and a place for the one with the built-in ones, I guess. Well, there's always a time and a place for something.
Some of these were actually, I think they were made by like Aphex Twin or something, because some of the presets are, they say AFX.
Really? Okay.
Maybe I could just have that repeating, or I could change it up later. have like a basic sound if I want to just kind of mess around with and see if I'll like if there's anything else that would sound nice. So I have a pattern where it goes G, A sharp, D sharp, C, C, D sharp, A sharp, D. So it does change a little bit. I think I'm gonna try layering in some more drums, and then also maybe make something with this synthesizer. Which, like I said, I really just go from like instrument to instrument and just adding in layers, so long as it's all in the same key, and then just kind of mess around with different notes and patterns and see what sounds nice.
What's the main thing that's recording everything? Like what is all of those instruments essentially plugged into?
Into the mixer. These all everything's plugged into here, and then that can be recorded into a DAW basically. the brain likes like syncopation. So sometimes if you have notes that were like some of the hi hats over here might be playing on different notes than over here, and then like this is the pattern here, and then the hi hats these ones. So the pattern's a little bit different for the hi hats, but I think it sounds better together. What?
Is that you're playing right there? Is that considered a polyrhythm, or not quite?
No, I don't think I even have like the right stuff to play like a polyrhythm. There's a difference between like polymeter and polyrhythm because sometimes like I'll make some tracks where everything's in 4/4, but then I'll have one instrument that's playing in 3/4 time. So once it hits the third step, then it repeats, and it kind of creates this like almost like hypnotic feeling where the brain wants to keep like it kind of pulls you in. But that's a bit different than polyrhythm because polyrhythm I guess it's kind of similar. Like let's say I'll give you a quick example and then I'll go back to this.
Okay. I appreciate it. So and just so I'm clear. Are there two different ones? I said polyrhythm. What was the other one you said?
Polymeter.
Polymeter. And then is there also one called polynome as well?
I recognize that word, but I don't know what that means. Polynome.
And I appreciate you being kind and answering my questions. I understand too. Like once you get in the zone, sometimes that can be distracting. So if you could keep doing it, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well, like that other guy with the barcode or whatever in his name, he would sometimes come in and ask me questions too, and I wouldn't mind answering them. But then sometimes he would just come off as rude and like take things personally. So I don't mind if people ask so long as they're nice about it. If you just go on Google and you search like a polyrhythm metronome, you can basically put in like which ratio. Let's say I want a ratio of 2:5, and then this is what the polymeter or the polyrhythm will sound like. So in that whole space, then this one's playing twice and this one's playing 5 times. And it's like kind of in this uneven thing, but it ends up creating this almost like hypnotic sound. You get really crazy with it too. Let's add another one that's like 9. I don't think that
you know the artist.
What?
You probably know the artist where I get a lot of that from, and the reason why I like those is Deadmau5. I'll quote him again. Yeah, I know he uses those heavy in his tracks.
Yeah, well, there is a type of instrument I want to get eventually. It's called a Moog subharmonicon. Well, I can show you that. It's basically like a Moog, but it's meant for like making polyrhythms.
Really? Like a specific. That's cool.
Yeah.
Specific.
It's called the Subharmonicon. Subharmonicon is a semi-modular polyrhythmic analog synthesizer that employs a 6-tone sound engine and multi-layered clock generator to explore the world of subharmonics, polyrhythms, and the unique relationships they create. Yeah, that's what that looks like. But I was gonna use like this one and see if I can make something with that.
Sounding pretty solid right now, to be honest with you.
So that's basically just a simple pattern. Like there's a few notes that I put in there.
Well,
All right, and now I'll probably just mess around with those instruments over there. This is a clone of the Roland TB303, and this is a clone of the Roland SH101.
okay. Wow.
Sometimes too, it's like less is more. So it depends on what I'm working on. Like if I'm making a song that is more minimalistic, then if you just keep adding layers, then sometimes it kind of muddies it up. But for other songs, it can be good and like to have like a lot of layers, and then you can kind of when you record the song, for example, I can bring in some of the layers and then fade some of the other layers out and stuff like that, and that so it just is constantly creating like movement in the song, which I can show you once I decide to record it.
Absolutely, yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Here's another piece of advice too that sometimes I use if I just to help generate random ideas for notes is there's a website. It's called. I mean, if you just search up random note generator, you can find it. But what you can basically do is, let's say if you want like a sequence of 8 notes, put in like the key that you're working for, and it will just give you just completely randomize them, and that can be a good like starting point to work off of. So I can plug that in there and then see how it sounds, and then if I want to edit it from there further, I can. But it can be a good like starting point.
That's a great tool. That really helps with writer's block too. That's awesome. Okay.
Actually, it ended up better than I thought. Like kind of more witch housey than I thought it would.
It does sound good, yeah.
Now the fun one is the 303 clone, because with this one, I don't know if you know anything about the Roland TB303, but it's basically like the sound that created acid, like acid house and acid techno and stuff like that.
Oh, so would Empire of the Sun and bands like that kind of use that a lot?
I mean, I would say if you hear acid, it's probably an instrument that comes from this or is influenced by this.
Cool. Okay.
So that's how I clear it. And then what's really cool about this one is you can, when I first tried to learn how to program that, I couldn't for the life of me figure out how the sequencer worked. But now it's pretty much second nature. I don't have to even think about it. It's just kind of hard because you have to program the timing and the pitch separately. But even if I just plug in like just the most random things, then it will end up sounding cool, and I can kind of give you an example of that. So let's say I'm going to make a pattern. I'll go into time mode. Go into pitch mode, add some notes. Let's see what black notes. And then you go and you can go back into I think pitch mode actually, and add like different accents, slides, transpose it up and down an octave. And if you just slap a kick drum on that, and that's basically like acid techno.
Fuck, man. That's really neat.
But I'm going to try doing something more like in that key, or in the key. And sometimes what's cool too is to have it like do like almost a call and response, where let's say if I have one instrument that's playing on the 1, 1, 5, 9, 13, and then have everything else playing like on the notes in between that.
Okay. Wow.
Most of the elements that I want. I also like to keep things moving. So I usually record into like FL Studio. And what I mean by that is, let's say if I have this playing, I might be like constantly making adjustments to like the cutoff filter or the envelope or stuff like that to keep the sound like changing.
Oh, sick. Wow. That reminds me of so many songs, I feel like. Just that one piece, that one instrument.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you an example of another one that I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure you've heard this song.
Oh, yeah. Wolfgang Gartner?
It's Daft Punk.
Oh, this Daft Punk. Okay, yeah. I've heard this song for sure. Great song.
So I record usually in the FL Studio, like Edison. So I have the track record ready. And then basically, once I hit record, then it will just start recording audio. So I kind of want to think about how I want to structure the track. Like a lot of times, I might start by having like the chords playing, and then maybe the drums come in, and then maybe the lead sounds start coming in, and I kind of just like structure it like that. But I think I'll just start like recording a take, and then I'll kind of show you what I mean. One thing I like too is, like if you have like the filter of an instrument all the way down, to bring it in, you can kind of start opening up the filter.
Oh, nice.
So I just do like a kind of semi-improvised like live jam session, and then just record that and see what it sounds like.
Fuck yeah. That's perfect. That is perfect.
So yeah, and now I basically just have that all recorded. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if I want to, let's say if I'm not like 100% happy with that take, I can record more than one. But that's pretty much like my process of how I make songs.
It's cool, man. That's really sick. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate you showing me all that, man. For real.
Yeah, I appreciate you listening. I'm glad that I was able to help because I'll put it this way: is like my goal eventually is right now I do a lot of freelancing and I work some other random day jobs. But my long term goal eventually is I want to do music and audio full time, and I want to also be able to like travel and be able to help other people with their music.
Man, that's so. Has there. Wow, man, like, there's so many questions I gotta ask, but like, let's start with some of the basics. Like, what's your inspiration behind music? First off, I guess personally, like, why do you like doing it? And then, furthermore, was there any, like, do you have any of your favorite, like, inspirations as far as artists as well?
I mean, I first started listening to electronic music when I was in middle school. I'm 26 now, so that was like 14 years ago. And that was like Skrillex and Deadmau5 were what was big. And so like
Yeah.
when I first got into that, then I thought it was really cool, and I was like I want to do that. But then like as I got older, then I started just exploring a lot more different genres and then subgenres and subgenres of subgenres, and learned a lot more about like more niche and kind of obscure genres. Um, but then when I was back in 2019, I went to a trade school then for sound engineering. Um, and I also did some more schooling, like at a community college for music business and music culture. And I took also a couple of classes at Berkeley online. The way that I feel is, I don't know, maybe I'm just musically inclined because some people just like to paint or like to draw. But even if there was no monetary incentive, I would still want to make music anyway. But the way that I look at it is, if I can get paid to do this full time to do what I otherwise would already enjoy doing, then that would be ideal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And no, man, there's some similarities there as well. Like, so I'm 30 years old. I also started listening to EDM music more or less with Skrillex and Deadmau5 and you know, Flux Pavilion and them. You know, with the whole
Yeah.
UKF and what have you. Um, but yeah, that's really sick. I was you have to do any kind of schooling, like real schooling for music, other than like uh, your typical middle school, high school kind of band stuff like that. But no, man, I really keep on doing what you're doing because the setup you got, great, man. Like it's so cool seeing somebody doing it analog as well. Kind of puts it in a different perspective for me. It's like I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, DAW is the way, but no, man, like you're doing it, and you have so many more opportunities. I feel like with that, it's just so much more free and flowing when you're able to use all the analog stuff you're using. It's just fucking sick, man. It's
I've
actually
just found
great.
it's. Hmm?
Have you been to any recent live shows or anything like that, or festivals, anything like that?
I've done a lot of like clubbing and raving here in Phoenix, starting when I was
Okay.
18. So for the past 8 years, on and off, I've gone to a lot of like different, mostly local like festivals and raves. Never really like I've never traveled and been to like big ones like EDC, but it's all like local to Phoenix.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm in the I'm like near the St. Louis area, kind of myself. But yeah, those are always cool, man. There's there's one of the last shows I went to was an artist called Immersive, and the freaking roof had the soundproofing on the roof, and the bass. I guess the soundproofing was so old and the bass was so strong